Hi everyone, my name is Robin and I am Ms. Diz here to give you the latest news on Disney Cruising and Disney World. So we provide lots of information, so be sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you never miss any of my new content and new news coming out. So let's get into some of the crazy stuff that's been going on in the online world about cruising ducks on Disney Cruise Line. Every now and then, you have these topics that divide the online world when it comes to Disney cruising, new policies and stuff. And there's been a new one happening for the last 2 weeks about that's really caused a huge uproar in the Disney cruising community. Basically, is whether Disney cruising ducks are going to be banned or actually banned from already on Disney cruises. So this was all started with a post on Plan Disney. If you're not familiar with Plan Disney, it's basically a third-party website but associated with Disney, and there's these people that are selected to give advice on how to plan your Disney vacation. They're not actually Disney employees, but they have been selected by Disney to comment on planning your Disney vacation. Let's look at this post that has created such a huge uproar in the Disney cruising community online. So here is the question being asked by someone to the Plan Disney representative. So it says, are we allowed to hide ducks on the ships? Security on our recent Disney cruise were removing them and told us to stop, but I can't find this written anywhere. And the response was, ahoy Shirley, thank you for sailing to Plan Disney with your question. Welcome. I've been hearing rumblings that guests are being discouraged from hiding ducks on board Disney cruise ships. So I called the friendly agents at Disney Cruise Line to ask if they had an official policy that I could share with you. I was advised that guests cannot hide things such as rubber ducks in staterooms or public areas on the ship. I know that this is a popular thing to do for many cruises on board, but it sounds like it's being discouraged. And as you said, crew members are removing any ducks they spot around the ship. I've got kids in my household with eyes that are trained for the ducks on board, so I guess it's time I inform them to not rehide any ducks they might find. So let's dive into this question and response. So basically, the person said they wanted a Disney cruise recently and they saw cast members taking away the cruising ducks. The response the rep had that works for Plan Disney was that she called and that Disney Cruise Line is now discouraging the hiding of ducks. Okay, so this is my opinion, and it's my opinion. Everyone has an opinion, and if your opinion is different than mine, it's totally okay. First of all, I'm just putting it out there. If it's not on Disney Cruise Line, it's not policy. It's just simple as that. It's not policy. If you can't read straightforward that something is banned on the Disney ships on the website, then it's not official policy. Now, that doesn't mean that on the ships that cast members are not taking the ducks and, throwing them out or putting them somewhere or doing something with them. But it is yet to be official Disney Cruise Line policy. And that doesn't mean the website won't change tomorrow, a month, or 2 months from now to reflect this apparent new policy. So the reason why I'm saying this is I find it highly unlikely Disney Cruise Line security will ever take ducks or something out of your suitcase that they haven't banned on their website. It just doesn't make logical sense. And I think a lot of online communities do forget that a lot of Disney cruisers, people cruising on Disney Cruise Line, don't ever go onto these message boards, forums, all these response areas or question areas and actually read all this stuff that's going on. So the average cruiser would have no clue all about this. All they would hear maybe is like, oh yeah, I hid Disney cruise ducks on my last vacation and you should do it too. And then they do. And they don't actually go to like a forum or a message board where people are talking about this to know that, there's this whole big controversy about Disney Cruise Line apparently not allowing ducks anymore. So that's why I'm saying till you read it on Disney Cruise Line, I would take anything I hear that is not official with a grain of salt. So let's get into why there's so much disagreement online. Well, first of all, it's because there has been no official statement or policy change on the Disney Cruise Line website. So obviously, online, you're going to have a lot of disagreements. And some people are actually saying they called up the Disney Cruise Line phone line And they were told, no, there's been no policy change. So there's conflicting information at the moment. There's also people on Disney Cruises right now saying, you know what? The cast members are actually helping us find the ducks and they're all into it and they have no clue what all this new information is. So there's conflicting information everywhere. And I'm just going to say it doesn't mean that this is not new policy that's going to be implemented. For example, in every business, there's a trickle down of information. Maybe not all cast members get the news right away. It takes time to implement policy across the ships and for every cast member to know what's going on. So that's why there might be conflicting information. And like I said, the information is not on Disney Cruise Line website where you're supposed to go to know all the rules of what you can bring and what you can't bring on Disney Cruise Line. So there's also a lot of people saying the hiding of ducks has always been discouraged. That's always been Disney's unofficial policy to discourage the hiding of ducks. It's not an official one, but at the end of the day, and I feel like it makes sense, if the cast members find ducks like hanging around or hiding somewhere while they're cleaning behind a garbage can where a lot of people do hide ducks, they will remove them. It is their job to clean up, and cleaning up does entail taking everything you find off the floors, and ducks would be included. And I kind of agree with this. It's always been the cast members' policy to take ducks, maybe take them for themselves or throw them out if they do find them at the end of a cruise day. This is why I think there's kind of this conflicting information, because this person called and they were told that it's been discouraged, but it always has been discouraged in one way or another. It hasn't been banned. So banned and discouraged are two very different things. Discouraged is, well, Disney just doesn't want to deal with it. So if they find a duck at night, the cast member might, take it away. But it's not banned. They're not going into your suitcases and taking out the ducks. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't, in all this information I've read online about cruise ducks no longer being allowed, that they have been banned. The word banned has never been used. The only word we're hearing is discouraged. In my opinion, it's always been somewhat discouraged. For the very reason that Disney doesn't want to tell everyone, hey, bring 100 million ducks on our cruise ship and hide them. It just, more people will do it. So it's kind of like the magnets that you put on your stateroom door. Disney doesn't really say much about them, and that's just how it is. There's certain things that they don't really talk about that guests do on the ship, as long as they're not hurting other people, obviously. Now, I have an inkling of why there's been so much controversy stirred up online about the banning of cruising ducks. And I'd say because not everyone enjoys the hiding of cruising ducks. I don't really have an opinion on it. My kids do it. We found ducks, we've hid them. But I don't have, I'm not committed to hiding ducks every single cruise. If I couldn't do it anymore, it wouldn't bug me too much. And I know it'd be a shame for others. I'm just kind of indifferent. So I would say I'm kind of 50-50 on this topic of whether cruise ducks should be banned. It's not really a big part of my holiday, so it's not going to really upset me if they were. So I think my opinion is a little neutral on this. So when I say you can still bring your ducks if you want to hide them on your next Disney cruise, I kind of stand by that at this moment. Because if they are not allowed, believe me, Disney Cruise Line is going to put that directly on their website. Until that point, I think all these conversations online are just needless and creating up angst and anger among people that just want to have a good holiday. Like I said, I know people have varying opinions on if you should hide cruise ducks or not. I've heard people say they clutter the ship. I think that's a little ridiculous. I've never seen a whole bunch of ducks cluttered. I've never felt like I was going to step over one. They're hidden, right? It's not exactly easy to find them. I didn't find a cruise duck to my 6th or 7th cruise. So it's not like you're walking and it's duck, duck, duck. Oh, goose. No, I'm just joking. There's no ducks that you actually usually really see out and about. There are sometimes, but it's very rare. So to say it makes the ship tacky or cluttered, I feel like is just a little over the top. Anyway, I'd like to hear your opinion on cruising ducks. Do you like cruising ducks? Do you think they make the ship tacky? Or do you just don't care for them in general? Do you think that cruising ducks are banned? or they will potentially be banned in the future? Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on this topic. That's going to do it for this video. Be sure to subscribe to Miss Diz and hit the bell for notifications to get all the latest updates on Disney World and Disney Cruise Line.